will we reach a point where the AI is going to pretty much handhold and guide the endoscopist on what he or she needs to do?
If I'm a gastroenterologist supported by an artificial intelligence, I actually going to pay even more attention to somehow beat the machine or be as fast as the machine to identify this lesion.
Giovanni Di Napoli, President of Medtronic Gastrointestinal. Thank you so much for coming on board today. I look forward to our conversation. But first, I want to welcome you.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward for this conversation as well, Praveen.
Great. Giovanni, now you've recently been named the President of Gastrointestinal, and congratulations for that.
Thank
So
you.
I wanted to first, walk back on your career. I've learned that you were a basketball coach once upon a time. So I wanted to understand how that journey has been from that point of time to being a senior executive at a Fortune 500 medical devices company.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Actually, I'm very passionate about sport in general, but with a particular interest in basketball. That was my place to be since I was 4 years old, and I kept playing and playing until I was 15, 16, and then I started to coach. But at the same time, also I was finishing my degree, economic degree, and the moment I finished to get my economic degree, I just wanted to check out and see what this will mean for me in terms of a business opportunity, just because I was curious. And I clicked on a link of J&J Medical Ethical Endosurgery. I applied for a job in Rome, and they called me. I went for the interview, and I got in love with the mission of the company and what they were doing. Also my dad is a nurse, and so I actually appreciate his work in helping patients throughout my young age. So I felt like, you know what, I think I like this job, and I want to try, I want to give a shot. I was not looking for a medtech job at all. I just was a series of coincidence and also my father background that pushed me to apply for this, and I'm here now.
That's awesome. And let's talk about that some more. So, what is Medtronic up to in gastroenterology?
So, a little bit of history here. Covidien, which is the company that Medtronic acquired 3 years ago, bought a company called Berex. I'm sure you know this radio frequency ablation technology to prevent esophageal cancer. And I was working for this company actually at that time. So I was acquired by Covidien from Berex. And, clearly Covidien was going to invest a lot in GI as a space where procedures that could go earlier in the care continuum from surgery. And Berex was the first acquisition. A couple of years after, we acquired Given Imaging. So we acquired scale across the globe because at that time, PillCam was already a well-established technology in the US and also beyond the US. And with Berex and the combination of these two technology, we were able to, get out from just being one device company at that time with Berex to become a little bit more, present in the endoscopy and GI market. So the long story short is that we kept moving into BD acquisitions, EndoFlip with Crosspon, for example, one more. And now, I mean, we are also in a position with this new portfolio that I'm sure today we'll touch base together with you to be really a strong leader, not only in GI, but in endoscopy in general, because that's the goal of the company.
Excellent. So, Giovanni, let's talk about that video that you just referred to and that prompted this whole interview. So it's amazing. The vision for PillCam is quite amazing. Where you talked about a patient receiving or buying it online, maybe, and receiving it at home, swallowing it like a vitamin capsule, and by the end of the day, getting a notification on a mobile app about whether she has polyps or not. Now, that's an amazing vision for how screening for polyps is, can happen compared to what we do today. Can you talk about this a little bit more? And then I have follow-up questions there.
So the idea was, how can we disrupt this market? One of the things that I always remember when we acquired Given Imaging at the time of Covidien was the future of PillCam colon, and how this technology could reach millions of patients that today don't want to go through a colonoscopy and they are not compliant. So we started from there, and we understood that the technology as it is today is not ready for prime time. Is not patient friendly, and it doesn't allow the GI to be able to really leverage this innovation technology to accelerate diagnosis and also potentially even diagnose more patients in the future. And one of these partnerships that we were able to establish is with the team of Amazon in Seattle, where we spent a couple of weeks 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We sat down together with them and we painted a picture of the perfect world, which is what I show in the video. I'm home, I'm 45, and I'm due my screening. Alexa is going to remind you that you are 45, happy birthday. But you should also go for a CRC screening, because CRC is the most preventable cancer, but still the least prevented. So, and then we thought, why not, shipping the device at home and just go through this technology like would be a normal capsule, a vitamin pill. And then through, AI and through also additional innovation that we are bringing to market, connect this with the gastroenterologist, and in case of any positive finding, have the opportunity the same day to also perform a therapy. So we want to go from start to finish. And that's the reason why we believe this technology can really, really impact our patients across the globe. I mean, it's one more weapon that we have on top of the other, screening test. So we are currently in development, and we are willing to start a pivotal trial early in 2022, where I'm pretty sure we need to go through to get FDA approval. But I would say the work we have done in the last 18 months tells us and tells me also that we are on the right track to stick with the timeline and also with the promises we have with this technology.
So in this vision, but what is the role of the physician?
Oh, it's critical because AI is going to support decision, but it won't be taking decisions. So AI is going to provide the most meaningful images and videos to the GI to make a sound decision about that patient. Eventually, also the GI is going to decide whether the patient needs to come for a colonoscopy, a follow-up, or doesn't need to come for a follow-up. We actually believe that this technology is going to enable to see more patients in the endoscopy suite and treat them earlier in the stage of cancer development.
Got it. So let me ask you a different kind of question here and bring up liquid biopsy and other alternative ways of detecting cancer which are coming up. So from that standpoint, let's assume that the vision for liquid biopsy, which is taking a blood test and screening for cancer, does come true. And as we know, the whole holy grail there is not to detect just one, but 15 different types of cancers with one sample. So let's say if that does come true, then what your vision is for PillCam, would it go along with it, or would it compete? Any thoughts that you have there?
I think our position is going to be different than liquid biopsy. Liquid biopsy, as far as I know now, can detect cancer, or Cologuard can detect cancer. PillCam Genius is going to detect early cancer, precancerous lesion. So which is where actually the most impactful therapy can be made. So polyps, adenomas. So if liquid biopsy won't be able to have a high level of sensitivity for this precancerous lesion, I think it's going to be positioned a very different way. Also, if you think about PILCAM, it will be the only test that can visualize the lesion, could be the only test that localize the lesion. It could be the only test that can size also the lesion. And I think for endoscopists, being able to see, visualize, size, and localize also the lesion is critical if you need to have a follow-up colonoscopy to remove that lesion. I think that our value proposition is going to be different than liquid biopsy. We respect what they're doing. I know there is a lot of investment there. I think it's going to add one more component in the armamentarium of tests available for those patients who need to get screened. And I think, now with the age going from 50 to 45 eligible for screening, even more patients will need to get screened. So even in terms of capacity, think about this. I think, we can also be one of the options. Plus, I believe our technology is going to be attractive on the technology side. And I think it's going to be very patient friendly. And this also will be, in our opinion, a good plus to have into our technology.
Very good. Let's talk about GI Genius. Now, it has been approved in Europe. And from what I understand, you're going through FDA approval in the US. Can you share a little bit more about GI Genius as a product and what stage is it right now?
Yeah, so we are very proud for GI Genius. We were the first to be in the market with artificial intelligence to help detection during colonoscopy. And the partnership with Cosmo Pharmaceutical in Italy is working really well. So the European approval came last year, just before UEGW, and we were very happy to be able to showcase our technology. And the technology is taking off. We have many units already placed in different markets. Clearly it's not as fast as we were expecting because COVID had a very huge impact. As you know, the number of colonoscopy and patients going to the hospital from last February, especially in Europe, went really down, and this also impacted the many opportunities we were working with our team in Europe. So I can tell that before this second wave, which happened just a month ago in Europe, things were getting much better. So we are patient. We are, focusing on clinical outcome. We are focusing on center that actually can also support education. And I don't know if you know, but also we have partnered with the ESGE, which is the European Society in Europe, and we provided a very important grant for clinical investment on the AI during colonoscopy. I think it's about $1.5 million investment. And also we are going to provide the GI Genius technology to generate this data, especially these days, because going for a colonoscopy is very important, can prevent cancer. So we hope this will accelerate also recovery of the backlog.
So let's talk a little bit about the, from a gastroenterologist private practice standpoint, right? Like, so they rely on reimbursements from insurances. Now, with technology like AI in the endoscopy room coming, their ability or people using the technology, their ability to detect polyps goes up because the AI is going to help them do that. But there are several people out there who may not adapt soon enough, and then they may be using an older technology. So, do you see at some point insurances mandating a certain base level of adenoma detection rate, so that endoscopists do not have a choice but to advance in the use of technology? Do these conversations come up in your discussions internally?
Yeah, I think you got the point. GI Genius AI in general for colonoscopy is going to help gastroenterologists to be somehow more precise where actually it's not possible to be precise. I always make the analogy. Do you want to be patient number 1 of 15 that day, or you want to be the last one to be seen from the gastroenterologist. I'm sure, fatigue play an important role in detection. If you have an AI technology helping you throughout the day, you can keep your level of performance the same. And I think this is also shown by multiple studies. And I think this has to be taken in account also for payers as well also from society. I know, there is a task force looking at the ADR rate and if this is going to be possible to be over a certain percentage. I think with AI it's possible, it's going to be possible. If the insurance are going to pay on top of what they pay already, I don't know yet. I think, I also see a future where also patients can have an ask. So I want to have a colonoscopy with also a third eye. And not because I don't trust the gastroenterologist, because she will make the final decision. But again, performance is going to be critical. And you want to get the performance anywhere in the US, in any place you go for a colonoscopy. And I think these technologies will help to get there.
If you examine how technology moves, let's take the example of Google Maps as an app, or let's take the example of Siri or Netflix. At the earlier stages of these technologies, I remember clearly, when I used to drive before, and how much I used to remember streets, and how less I remember now, or my need to remember streets has steadily declined. So I'm wondering if all this will get to the point where the endoscopist will be completely guided by the AI. If we advance forward enough, will we reach a point where the AI is going to pretty much handhold and guide the endoscopist on what he or she needs to do?
I actually see this on the opposite side. I see, if I'm a gastroenterologist supported by an artificial intelligence, a GI Genius in this case, during my procedure, I actually going to pay even more attention to somehow beat the machine or be as fast as the machine to identify this lesion. I was in a couple of cases in the UK last year when we launched the device. And I could tell that the feedback was, oh my God, I want to be faster. This is going to give us so much training opportunity to our fellows because they will learn quicker. So I think, if you know how to utilize the technology, is going to improve your performance and keep it stable. I don't think AI is going to replace the need for gastroenterologists and endoscopists to perform colonoscopy, not at all. But yes, for sure, there will be performance metrics that you want to hit. And if the performance metrics is to, find a certain amount of polyps in 10 patients, you want to, be at that standard, almost like a benchmark. And so I think it's going to give you more motivation to stay attentive, to stay focused during the procedure together with the machine. So that's the way we see AI working, especially in colonoscopy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you work with the insurance industry at all related to the financial aspects of the technology that you launch?
Yes, we do. We have an HPNR department in GI, and our leader is working very close to them to understand also need opportunities.
Giovanni, my final question, trying to connect all these dots, is: do you see PillCam talking to GI Genius internally? And if you have to fast forward 5 years or even beyond, what are we going to see? What is the vision for GI?
So we have technologies in our portfolio that can be genius powered, which means we're going to offer more and more solutions to our customers with artificial intelligence. GI Genius is the first of these solutions. You mentioned, are we going to be able to connect dots with PillCam and GI Genius? I would say the answer is yes. There are multiple solutions. Think about also EndoFlip for motility disorder. Think about manometry. Think about pH impedancy, and all of these technologies that can be genius powered. And we have a huge investment in place with over 30 plus engineers in Israel. And also the partnership with Cosmo is really, really strategic and important. So we believe we can go fast and we can bring disruptive innovation, genius powered into the endoscopy suite.
Mhm. From the lens of an endoscopist or a gastroenterologist, how would that vision play out? What would they be doing differently 5 years from now?
I would say data is going to support the decisions. And I also would say that we simplify the workload of our customers in order to be able to perform more procedures in the same day and see more patients and prevent more cancer.
Giovanni, thank you so much for spending time today and sharing what Medtronic is up to in the space of GI. Was there anything else that you wanted to share before we close?
No, thank you very much, and I'm very happy to be leading this business. I promise Medtronic is in GI to stay and also to invest, and you will see more and more coming from our company.
Thank you so much, Giovanni. Bye.
Thank you.